Good morning, everybody. What's going on? What's up? We are live. How's everybody doing on this fine, dandy, young morning, afternoon? How you guys doing? All right. Today, I think I'm going to start something new today. What do you think? I just started this. Look good? Um, so I've been playing a lot of God of War lately. I was like, you know what? I need to do something fantasy, sculpty, monstery, something something like that. That's really kind of what I've been missing for a while now. So, what a better time to do something like that. So, I think I'm going to start a new project here. Um, God of War has been freaking awesome. What a great game. The art in that is just freaking killer. So, one of the dudes that I love is this guy. This guy. Oh, this guy. What's up, Sinead? How you doing, man? So, what I've been wanting to really do was do like a whole diorama, right? So, like the I've been kind of wanting to do some more like high res stuff. Kind of while we think about what it takes to make game art as well. So I think this round I may go for something closer to like a statue, um, some kind of like action piece of a couple of different characters. So DD, how you doing, man? God of War is just so freaking awesome, man. Such a beautiful, beautiful game. Anyway, so thought before as I kind of wrap my brain around what this diorama would be, I definitely want one of these guys, one of these troll dudes, in the actual piece. So um, whether they're fighting against him or something's happening, but this I kind of want to be the main bad guy of the piece. But I found a really awesome variant of him, which is this guy. This guy is freaking awesome. I love the way his like got other skin type of textures going on. So something either this one or this one. But regardless, we need to block out. So yeah, you guys think that'd be cool to watch? Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. So I'm gonna start blocking this dude out. One of these two variants. Either way, it's very close to the same base. So we're gonna start rocking that out. I'll probably just do him in a regular pose before I do anything like this. Yep, definitely a face of anger. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. That's where we're gonna start, and then let's roll. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna. What do you think? I just did this in like I don't know a couple seconds. Yeah. All right, we're just gonna get old fine and dandy spherical sphere dude here. All right, then let's just roll. Turn on some symmetry and see if we can get just a head shape real quick. He's got kind of a longer head. what's awesome is that we can just come in here. Let's just block out his horns. Okay, maybe his horns will come from here. A little bit more girth back here. It's the reason why I started with Sculptris Pro. Yeah, for me, it's just like there's no reason for me to worry about topology right now. It's all just going to be Dynameshy-y, you know what I mean? So just to give me freeform over just these initial blocking, Sculptris Pro for me is definitely the way to go. All right, we'll just get the overall idea and shape coming on here. I guess my bigger question would be, why wouldn't you start with Sculptris Pro? Just give these a little bit more thickness here. And just using the smooth to add a little bit more topology in there while I'm using the move button or the move brush. All right, and then we get our handy dandy, amazing, awesome snake hook brush. Hold on. Okay. Snake hook for the win. Snake hook has been kind of a black sheep for a long time. He didn't feel like he didn't get quite the respect that he deserved. But now is the time. Now is the time of Snake Hook. We'll do some inflate here. I feel this is going way too high, so we're gonna pull this guy down a whole lot more here. Okay, let's just start blocking in some face shapes here. So we got nose. Let's just actually get rid of this. Got eyes. Mouth. Again, nothing too crazy, just want to get the overall shape of the head here. Oops. How's everybody else doing? You guys doing all right? Usually, early on, I like throwing in some eyeballs. just to get some overall shape. So let's do that. So you just grab a appendisphere. Appendisphere. Not to be confused with appendicitis. Or appendix. It's appendisphere. Alright, so just, not that guy. Grab this dude. We'll do mirror and weld. Turn on my whatever that's called. No, not really. I guess the main difference is just placement, I guess. So insert, you can just be like, oh, I want a thing right here. But I don't really care about the global orientation. For me, eyes are I usually like having this orientation for the eyeball. So if I append it, it'll come in at 0, 0, 0, or wherever the center of my scene is. And I can now make sure that if I snap things, right, I know that those are on point, I guess you could say. That's really, for me, the only big difference between the two. Alright, and then we use, hey, hello. There we go. Wait. There we go. Some of the shortcuts I use for just everyday usage in here is V for solo, and then Shift V. Hello, Shift V for transparent. Shift V. Thank you. So now I can really quickly go between this. Right. The nice thing about this is if I want to sculpt behind it, if I do the transparent, which is in transform transparent with ghosting on, then I can actually sculpt behind this while still seeing what's going on in front of it. Otherwise, sometimes you get like this weirdness where you try to sculpt behind something and it like does this. So that's another reason why it's nice to have. That's why I use the ghosting on a quick key. Really helpful for situations like this where like you want to be able to sculpt behind something, but you still want to be able to see it. All right, so just blocking in some eyeballs real quick. The awesome thing about Sculptress is that you can just go. The scary thing about Sculptress is that you can get lost really quickly. So it was actually nice before because I would use, or a lot of people would use the limitations of your topology in different Dynamesh resolutions to make sure that like you just worked on the forms before you added more resolution. It was actually a good like stop gate for myself to keep me from getting to doing too much high res details too soon. But now that's not really a problem. It is a problem because now you can just jump in so quickly. which is awesome and a little bit scary at the same time. Alright, let's work on proportions here. His eyes are too big. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Eyes are way too big. If we look at this, like, oops, how small his eyeballs are in his head. Actually, really pretty small. Way smaller than that. So let's. What's up, He-Sculpt? How you doing, man? Let's throw these down even further. And then let's make sure they're set apart quite a ways. Valley of the Suck, that's where we're at. Gonna be here for a while. Gonna be here for a while. It's always the most disheartening part of starting a new project is when is the very beginning. When you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna make this amazing, awesome thing, and you like start sculpting in on it, and it just looks like poop, you know? Good news is it happens to everyone. Okay, let's start getting a little bit more shape. His chin is a whole lot longer down here. Not like that. Give it a little bit of actual structure down here. Then we'll just a hint of this design here so we know kind of what we're looking at. It's got like crab claws coming out. Actually, these look like they actually roll up more. Gnomon. Right? I'm an angry garden gnome. Why does nobody like me? Ah! I feel like this is going to start a little bit lower. This actually would be a little bit more. This curve is interesting because kind of looks like it goes into his face, but it also looks like it curves up a little bit. Alright, and then let's start giving him less of the floaty head look. We'll just get a little bit more structure going. Okay. Let's just connect this for now. Oh, Sculptress Plus, I love you. You doing, Hannibal? What's up, buddy? Oof. He's rough. He's rough right now. Don't look. All right, let's just keep giving him some body here. We'll get to proportions. Very, very early still. Sometimes, you can, depending on what you want to practice in a particular project, um, there's different ways of going about blocking stuff out, you know? For me, I kind of like getting to the point. All right, so let's actually just get a torso coming in here. Maybe we'll just use snake hook here. Snake hook is so awesome now. Alright, we've got back. So either you can do, something like this, where you're just kind of lollygagging around, or what you can do is there's a great brush from Bad King. They have like this monster brush that I love using, just for blocking in super quick torsos and arms. It's not set up in the new ZBrush. That's hecka dumb. Not Dynamesh at this point. I'm using just the Sculptors Pro. Yeah, we'll just continue on. I don't want to have to go find it. Bore you guys. Okay, here's back. Torso. We'll just do it real quick here. I've done anatomy enough times where I could just block something out. It's fairly quick. What do you think? God, he looks like crap right now. If you go to badking.au.com, I think is what it is. You got a lot of free stuff on there. Whew, man, he's looking. They've been around for quite a while. Bad, BADKING, Bad King. Sorry. It's actually. Let's show you right now. Let's look at. Yeah, badking.com.au is what it is. These guys have been around for quite some time and got a lot of really awesome free stuff. You just come in and do monster brush. Monster brush. Monster parts. Let's look at, is it models now? I don't remember where it is. Should be in here. Monster parts. Somewhere in here. Here we go. So monster legs and feet, monster tongue, horns, ears, arms and hands, torso. This is the one that I use quite a bit. So they have just these torsos that you can start with, but it's just I use them basically. Oh look, they updated it. Nice, that one's new. It's a good way to just drop in a torso and just get some shapes going real quick. That's usually what I do at this point, instead of just trying to kind of figure things out. It just kind of gets you there a little bit faster. Faster getting out of the valley is suck. Without having to do any of this weird stuff. Because it's always super ugly right now. Like, super ugly. Like, super, super ugly. Like, super ugly. Alright, what do you think? I think he's done. Hey guys! Oh, I gotta open up this door real quick. It's a little bit too hot in here. Hold on one sec, guys. Ship it! What's up, Mike? How you doing? Shut down the stream. It's done. It's over. Oh, Kratos! Oh, Kratos! Uh, doing good? Oh, look. Let's do a little backface mask. See, it's funny, this backface mask, as soon as you turn that on, it turns off Sculptus Pro. Do you see that? Oh, it does. Hmm. Alright, let's actually get some anatomy actually going in here real quick. Yes, move brush, yes, as well. Get a little butt back here. Kratos, ah! I'm gonna kill you, Kratos, ah! Never skip leg days. Whoa. Whoa. What's going on? Whoa. It's freaking out. Let me say this real quick. It's freaking out on me. It's freaking out on me. Let's say God of War project. Troll block out 01. All right. Does it when it's on full size? It's not, I don't. Oh, look at you, dude. Nice. See, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I think if you use it right, it could be. It could be okay. You know what I mean? Okay, let's just get some landmarks coming in here real quick. Okay, we got pecs. We've got ribs. We got ribs. We got lats. We've got spine. We've got shoulders. We got to thicken these guys out some. Now we're gonna try to get out of the Valley of Suck here real quick, just anatomy wise. At least so we can kind of get moving. Oops. Just kind of so we can get moving forward. Things aren't so incredibly bad. Let's do preferences, draw, do something like that. There we go. Now I can go a little bit larger here. Ship it. Yeah. Alright. So we've got traps. We've got scapula and all its funness back here. This is a little bit too low. Alright, we've got delts. 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 This is too low. Let's bring out the lats a little bit. Okay, we got abs. Okay, got pelvis. Obliques. Look at those legs, bro. Yeah. Alright. Get a little bit more girth to his back here. And actually, you know what? I feel like this. Actually bring that back, and then we'll just make his head just a little bit bigger. Oh, my eyeballs are poking out! Oh my god! Ah! I don't know if I have had too much coffee or not enough coffee, because it's still early. Or it's just fun to joke around when it looks so bad. I think it's just fun to joke around when it looks real bad. Let's just throw these back into your eyeballs. Your eye sockets here. Okay. Alright. Let's continue this blocking anatomy thing. Alright, we got some triceps. Triceps. Deltoid's gonna come in. Yep. Kratos deltoids. Dude, Kratos has like the biggest delts ever. Okay, bicep. Okay, got forearms. So basically just trying to get some of the actual anatomy shape. I'm not too worried right now on the proportions. Because once I have some of the shape down, then it's a little bit easier to get the proportions in. Because you can just push and pull the landmarks once you establish the landmarks. Right? Yeah, probably would have been easier. Hell, man, you gotta live off the cuff. You gotta do stuff under pressure. Under pressure. All right, then let's just okay. Think his legs are really like really bothering me. Let's just do this real quick while we're on blockout. I think we're just gonna do. Let's see if I can find. Something like this. I got a better one. Where is he? Where is he? There we go. This one's good. What do you think? Pretty close? I always think it's a good idea to practice anatomy whenever you can. It's also it's good when you keep yourself under pressure. You got a bunch of other artists sitting watching you sculpt live. It's always some good pressure. It's always some good pressure. Leg day. Alright, let's actually get some beefiness coming on in here. Yeah, I think it would have been better to start with anatomy. Or start with just a base mesh. Oh well. We'll just keep rolling. We'll just keep rolling. We just don't look at my legs. Don't look at my legs. All right, now let's start getting some proportions on this head. Let's start doing this a little bit. A little more. A little more. See if we can bring him. I mean, we won't be completely out of the valley of the suck, but at least we can get him closer so he can at least see the edge. We'll just start blocking in and out some more shapes here. This is going to go in more in here. Let's see if we could just... There we go. I think I'm starting to see him a little bit. I think we can bring all this down more. Then actually, let's do open mouth. Okay, I think chin needs more down here. Gonna need some more throat, a little bit more kind of girth on this jawline here. And definitely some more throat. Let's pull most of this stuff back. A bit more shape juice in here, as Shadi Safadi likes to say. Shape juice. Get some of this massive neck. Actually, I feel like his head's a little too thin. We're gonna pull this out a bit. A bit. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna work on that brow as well. Maybe we'll get a little bit of this. A little bit of this. Maybe a little bit more here. And let's let's fix these eyes too. Them eyeballs. Yeah, I could probably go back just a little bit. Maybe there. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Slowly but surely. And stop calling me Shirley. Okay, got big brows here. They kind of go back out. Let's do a little bit of move. A little bit kind of a crown on his head. Not a crown, but get a little bit of a nostril here. Just to get some landmarks going. He's not so bad in the Valley of Suck anymore. Not like he was. Because he was, for sure. Okay, let's get some of this. Got kind of a large lasionabial fold. We get some of these planes going in the right direction. We can start getting some of the shape reads a little bit better. Thanks, man. He's got a long way to go. But, you know, it's just when you start out any project, really, you just got to keep going, right? You can't let this stage stop you. You know what? Even the professionals are in this stage. You know, and then you may get out of the Valley of the Suck, and then you do something, and you're right back in it. You just gotta keep rolling. All right, let's look at his eyes. Are way like this is way too far back, way too far back. This is way too far forward. Yeah, this is all Sculptris Pro so far. And some of this depth too. Usually from the side of the face, if it's I one of my one of my weak points is always this distance here. I always like make this super shallow. So I've been trying a lot lately to make sure that from the side, this distance is actually pretty far. I mean, it's pretty prevalent in Caucasian. But, you know, I guess every creature is a little bit different too. But I always tend to make this depth a lot more shallow than it usually is. You get a nice curve here coming in. Alright, let's work on those eyeball shapes a little bit. Okay, I want this side to come down. still feel it's... Yeah, that's a little bit better. Get a little bit more separation here. Oh, I love Sculptors Pro. So good. So good. A little bit of eye bags here. And usually I wouldn't actually get into this until much later. And this is kind of one of the, I think, the restraint, you know, personal restraint downfalls of Sculptors Pro is that you can get into this level of detail so quick that it's hard to hold back, you know? Just work on those secondary forms before you start getting into all that tertiary detail. It's tough, man. The restraint is real. A little bit more separation, depth here. And just right now, I'm kind of just focusing on overall just shape read. See if I can get some of that stuff reading correctly. Right off the bat. Get a little bit more oomph to his nose out here. Okay. Alright, then let's work on the lip a little bit here. Still feel like his head is too not thick enough up here. Maybe we'll just block in some teeth. There we go. Now he's starting to kind of look like some type of human shape. Humanistic. He needs a little bit more chin. More chin! Some bottom girth there. Maybe we'll give his lips a little bit. Just move his mouth down a little more. Give him a little bit more of that creature look. A little bit more of a plain difference between the beginning of the horns here and the side of his head. Whew, you still got a long way to go. A little bit more skull. Now it's starting to feel like his face is a little too long. You can actually bring all of this back up a touch. Okay, trapezius that comes up through there. Alright. I think we need a little bit more shape stuff on his horns now. Everybody else doing okay out there? Hey, guys, have any questions? Any fun stories? Anybody go see the new Avengers yet? I got a chance to see it last night on opening night. Oh, it was so dope! It was so dope! Yeah, it was, dude. Without spoilers, dude, Thanos looked so good. Every single shot was just so good. They did a really great job on Thanos. No spoilers. Just talking about the yeah, that's fine. Just talking about the art. All right, let's see if we're starting to lose him a little bit. Let's see if we can get him back. Starting to lose him a little. And this is kind of the little bit of the dangers of Sculptris Pro is that I feel like, I mean, I guess I don't have to use it. Let's just not use it. What's up, Ashen? How you doing, man? I feel like you can get lost in the details a little bit too quickly. Yeah, we're just talking about it a second ago. without spoilers, you should see it. That's all I gotta say. You should see it. See if we can get some of these planes going right. Get a little bit of this lip action going down here. If you're thinking about seeing it, you should absolutely see it. I'm gonna go see it again. Let's put it that way. Okay. I think that this fold is so big on him, I feel like it's very defining of his character. So let's get some of these landmarks in here a little bit better now. Alright, so they're gonna come like this, and then his eye socket actually comes kind of down a little bit more like this. This is the we're working on a troll for God of War. This dude or this dude. One of the two. This guy's horns come way further out. Yeah, I think we need to work on the horns a little bit more too. Definitely. Yeah, I really do want to see The Quiet Place. My wife won't go with me though. She hates scary movies. Like, hates them. Like, hates them. When we first started dating, I took her, I was like, hey, let's watch some scary movies. She was like, cool. Okay. And yeah, we watched Paranormal Activity back to back with Quarantine, and she was scarred. She really hasn't watched any scary movies with me since then. I think I pushed a little foot too far. A little too far. Yep, she's still like 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years later. She's like, nope, nope, no scary movies. It's like, dude, come on, man. That was like 8 years ago. Seriously? Nope, I'm good. Come on! Yeah, so I kind of shot myself in the foot. So now, if I want to go see a scary movie, I actually have to go by myself. All by myself. She's getting better. Yeah, I almost convinced my wife to go see It with me until she realized it was about clowns. I was like, come on, man, it's going to be awesome. It's Stephen King, you know, it's old classic horror. She's like, oh, I don't know. And then she like watched the trailer again. She's like, no, no, never. I will never see that movie. It's like, you suck. Come on. Look at them legs, bro. Look at them legs. Ah! She looks like it looks like one of those little toys. All right, let's see if we can get these horns in the right place. No clowns. I know. Actually, you know what? The some of the best clowns that I've seen. I feel like that one of the best clowns I've seen in a long time was from uh, American Horror Story, the carnival season. Dude, that clown was amazing. Amazing. Let's get the thickness of these kind of going in the right proportions here. Yeah, the clown from that season was just this is too damn good. Not Pennywise good, but good. I feel like all this is a little bit too straight, so I feel like we can swing this in a little more. Yeah, I dug that series for like the first couple seasons. To me, it really started falling apart. But the Roanoke season was actually really good. Had a lot of fun with that one. That was good. Yeah, the Roanoke one was fun. Yeah, they did. I mean, I don't know. That first season there was so awesome. I don't know there was any way of getting and doing something better. I feel like the Roanoke one was a really clever idea for the whole thing. Let's see if we can just get rid of all this for now. Just kind of focus on his head now. Now that we got some things going. Hotel. I didn't like Hotel. I didn't really like Asylum either. Or the Witches one. And it just oh man. I feel like I can't do sculptor's mode when it's hidden. Dadgummit. I feel like the Witches one would have been really awesome. It had a lot of great potential. When Kathy Bates came in, and I was like, dude, they got Kathy Bates, yes. And then like her character just seemed kind of a wuss to me. Like they didn't let her do her thing. Like if you have Kathy Bates on your roster, and you don't let her do her thing, I don't know, man. I feel like it was wasted opportunity. Witches was a cool X-Men story. Yeah, totally underutilized. I was just like, come on, man, you guys have Kathy Bates. She is beyond amazing. And like just ugh, that was I was sad. I was sad. Okay, you guys mucked it up. You mucked it up. And then even in the Carnival one, I felt like I was like, all right, well, they got another season with Kathy. I was like, yeah, I think they'll get this one right, and that they just I feel like they messed that one up too. All right, I like this dude's proportions really aren't working at the moment. I think his whole face needs to be wider. His eyes are like weird too. There we go. Oh, I get it, Hannibal. I get what you're saying. I was really confused for a second. Yeah, it's kind of like X-Men. Yeah, School for the Gifted. I see what you did there. I was totally in another zone. Sorry to leave you hanging there, man. All right. All right. Let's fix the side of his head. Now I think it's just kind of making sure that we get a lot of this. And you know what? Maybe we'll get his beard in there too. And I think that's what's really throwing him off a little bit. I think that get a little bit more of the cheek shape, not the sheet shape. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Actually think this can come down a little bit more. I like his profile is actually doing okay. Let's get some beard shape in there. We'll just do brush insert this time. No! Ah, mother of sons! Rip. Rip. How do you feel about Sculptors Pro mode? Watch the flip normals. They said it's great for concept sculpting, but not as useful for production modeling. I actually agree with that. Covered Z tool. Come on, baby. Give me some love. Hey, yo! Save. I actually agree with that. For production stuff, like finalized production stuff, um, it's actually less useful. Um, but for I think on the concepting side of things, it's amazing, especially for organics. Organic, like if I was an organic concept sculptor, dude, like that's my jam. This is like, holy cow, you guys made this just for me. All right, let's see if my buttons are no, my buttons are. Let's see what else I said. Yeah, like Dom Quack or any like Justin Goby Fields or Kurt Papstein. Those types of guys that just do like concept stuff. I think they said a lot of the time studios have base meshes and they're already done in UV since Sculptris Pro mode destroys everything and that. But yeah, if you're if you already have a base and you're trying to use UVs and stuff, yeah, it's not it's it will definitely have its issues for sure. But I mean, Sculptris Pro mode has its place. It's just another tool in your chest, and I think that for blocking stuff out, and you're not worried about UVs and like the back end production stuff, and you're just trying to get forms and stuff. It's amazing. I mean, the other thing you can do is you can you sculpt. Let's say you sculpt this, and but you have another head model that has all the UVs, the same UVs as everything else does. You can just project. It's like you just do your sculpt real quick, and then you take the other head and then move it around a little bit, and then just project the details, and then you've got all those details back on your head mesh. I mean, there's ways around it for sure. All right, let's try to do this brush insert thing again. Okay, it's working. Good, good, great. We'll just get some geo in there. Dude, you got a bad, really, really, really bad pimple. Moly, 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 moly. I don't see why Sculptris wouldn't be used in production when it comes to getting your forms. Everything needs to be retopped anyways. Um, well, I mean, when you get down into it, like just the surface detail, even though you can come down here and really get a lot of detail in through there, it's still it's still got its issues. If you're saying you're getting all the way down to doing like pore details and stuff, it still has its issues. So that's why I kind of say like it has its own place. What if you're still noob mode? I mean, if you're just trying to work on it, sorry, if you're like in noob mode and you're just trying to work on shape language and proportions and just trying to kind of figure all that stuff out and not have to worry about learning the technical side of polygonal limitations in any particular program, then yeah, man, it's awesome. All right. Let's see if we can get just a beard on this guy real quick. Ah! Alright, I gotta set this again, so I'm gonna set that one to V. If you're new and you're looking at my setup here, don't be discouraged. I tend to kind of work a little bit more messy, um, and so I bring all the tools that I use out a lot and throw them out here, mostly just in the tool palette, and then some other handy dandy things over here. But the other thing that I suggest is getting into your quick your hotkeys. So for me, I use solo in V, and then I use transparent in Shift V. So now I can go and do that, which is really awesome. And then let's go to snake hook and then just get some beard going here. Yeah, I mean, it's all about it's really all about what your end product is going to be. Um, I would say just learn everything. Well, not learn everything, but figure out what the things that you are going for. Like, um, are you doing more game art pipeline, or are you more interested in movie special effects? Um, are you doing hard surface? Are you doing more um, organic stuff? There's different pipelines for different ways of working in ZBrush as well too. So I would take that into account. It really kind of depends on what you do. Just getting around to making the program do what I wanted to. Yeah, I mean that's just, I mean, just spending time with ZBrush, understanding its kind of nuances is a whole job in and of itself. You know. I was watching a webinar. A guy at Epic worked on a Siren video. He said that hero characters nowadays can be 100K to 150 polys, especially if that includes hair. Yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes even more than that, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, hair can be crazy just by itself. So let's see if we can just get just a little bit of shape to this. I don't want to spend too much time on this part. I just kind of want to get it so where I can kind of explain a little bit more of the shape down here. Actually, I feel like we're just gonna keep this nice and wide. But even so, like, if I'm doing this in a game pipeline, I still may just do this until I have the overall shape ready to roll, and then just reproject stuff. Let me just get a idea. General sense that this is beard hair. Nothing too crazy. No, that was my phone. Okay. Look, we got a beard. Okay. Just really just to kind of help us get the overall idea. Yeah, that was Mike Seversky. I work right next to him. Good guy. Mike Seversky. What's up, Faut? Faut Bird 12. How you doing, man? Yeah, Mike's a really talented character artist. Okay, let's get back to here. Let's get back to here. Okay, I feel like there's a good plane change that's going on here, where we've got, oh no, no, I want to keep this in symmetry. We've got kind of the nasolabial fold coming in through here, and then we have a plane change here for where the zygoma comes in. And I guess I could just talk about this here. Alright, so specifically this here, right, we got kind of this like fat fold coming in through here, and then we've got this nice plane change and then the zygoma area here. Let's actually do this. Let's do my favorite. Schmert. I love see-through mode. It's so awesome. Let's take a look at our proportions while we're here. Maybe that will, oh yeah, look how thin his head is. Let's just get... I like to line up the eyes, get the eye size right, and then look at everything else. What do you point it out? It's forward projected and turns to a cheek, right? Yeah, there's this like a lot of times there's this plane break that happens where you've got the nasolabial fold that comes down here like this, and then a little plane break that comes into your zygomatic portion here. You kind of got like that little difference. Okay, zygoma's a little bit too big. Sometimes it's just enough to give you a nice plane break. Sometimes it's a little bit more than others. So just when you kind of when you're rolling around and you see the light in different areas like here, right? You can see this nice fall off here, and then we got the highlight that comes back on here. So it's subtle, you know. There's a lot of things that you don't see until you kind of move things around. Yeah, so the orbital bone, yeah, which is the zygoma. I feel like this actually comes out a little bit too far. Let's actually pull that back. Right. That kind of thing. So that's what I'm looking at here, right? When we see this plane, right? You got the nasolabial fold that comes down here like this, And then we've got this plane change, and then we got into the zygoma here. Alright, let's see how bad our proportions are. Well, his horns are way too small. What's up, Dave? Yep. So far, so good, man. Can't complain. Let's try to work on a little bit of proportion here. Look, his cheek is okay. The width of the side of his head is all right. Maybe this actually needs to come out a little bit more. Look how far this comes down too. I feel like his whole, all of this. Actually, you know what? That was okay. I think his lips maybe can come up just a little bit. Okay, and this all comes way down. This is going to come out way more and down more. This goes way further down. Way further down. Or not. This part goes down. It's a little bit different on both sides. Let's see. All this stuff can come out way more. And again, this is the beautiful part about being just free flow, that we can do lots of great stuff. Okay, let's look at I feel like his head actually can come down quite a bit. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. Ooh. Yeah, we'll work on that shapes again, but now kind of a little bit more. Maybe the bridge of his nose. Let's say you're trying to get this guy an engine. What software would you use to bake out all the maps? You would need. I've been using Substance and Handplay, but it really good here. Things about it. It really depends. Honestly, I think it depends on what your studio is doing. But if I was doing stuff at home, my pipeline is Sculpt and ZBrush, Retopo and Modo, and UV and Modo. And then I do all my baking in Marmoset Toolbag 3. I just think it's so much easier to do stuff there just by the folder structure and all that. So I do all my baking in Marmoset. And then I do my texturing in Substance Painter. But there's a ton of different ways that you can bake and all kinds of different ones. People still use now, and people still use a lot of different stuff. So, Dave, I don't know what his name is. So there was this dude. There's a couple of different ones, right? There's this guy, which is he's got some weird name. I forgot what his name was. I think it's It was something. I had the name in my search. Uh, Daude, Dowdy Cupmadr. Kaupmadr. That's this dude. But I don't know which one this variant is, if he has a different name. But like I like his look better. Yo, Mike, man, I actually wish I could. I just I don't have the time, man. I don't have the time. If there was just more time, I could do it. It does seem fun. I mean, I've been playing games since I was a kid, so I've had my share of um, buddy adventurers in the video games. It'd be a lot of fun. I just with work being crazy and family and everything, I have a hard time doing projects that have a due date. I think all of this stuff needs to come back. I would, I every time there's a an awesome contest, I was like, God, I wish I could, man. Wish I could. Like this guy. This needs to come. Needs more room under his neck. There we go. That feels better. There we go. Now he's coming out coming a little bit out of the valley of the suck. A little bit. He's seen some light of day here. You need a way to sculpt that indentations of the horns. So are you talking about the horn details? Like, these details? What's up, Pre-Drag? How you doing, man? Waiting for your... Yeah, those details. Yeah, I can show you how to do that real quick. This is actually pretty interesting. He's got, like, all this outer form, right? And it actually comes down here and then kind of, like, curls in. And then this, like, actually bowls under that. That's actually really cool. Yeah, so let's do that. I got about 20 or 30 minutes left. So let's do that. Let me get a little bit more width to this real quick, and then we'll get into that right now. How about that? We'll detail that apart. We may get rid of it later, but let's do it right now. All right, so we've got kind of like this shape that comes down and over like this, right? And then this kind of comes in. And we'll just kind of give that a little bit more there. All right, we've got kind of some shapes going on up here. Like that. Alright, we got some more shapy shapes. Yeah, I can see that, especially with the Sculptris Pro stuff going on. So let's get some of these shapes going on out here. There we go. Now he's kind of... I don't think he does have ears. Now that I think about it. Poor guy. I know, right? Alright, so let's see. Kind of got some shapes coming in here into a zygoma area. Alright, so we got, actually it's kind of coming this way. Yeah, maybe we'll give him some ear holes somewhere. And maybe he's got like, you know, something back here. It's like covered by hair or something. You know, he's got like this type of thing going on. Or like, also comes back through here. You know, he's got a little ear hole back here, something. Something crazy like that. Okay, so so we got this kind of thing coming over there. We've got kind of a thickness here. Alright, just getting the secondary forms going here. It looks like we've got something coming in this way and then this way. So this piece comes over, connects up here. And we kind of got like this shape going on with a little bit of that going on there. So then let's get that separation here. Let's kind of get this going on back in there. Let's flatten all this stuff out. Alright, we've got more of a ridge that actually comes this, something like that. I feel like need a little bit more bend in this bad boy. A little more bend. There we go. Okay. So it looks like we've also got some... So then I'll just kind of like block in some of these larger shapes first. You know, we've got a couple of these larger pieces that kind of come in there. This kind of goes in a little bit. Got a little bit of this shape going in there, and this is maybe this is where it like grows out of. So I always want to try to get the overall shapes first. It's the secondary forms before I really start getting into doing those fine details, you know. We got this type of thing happening. Okay. What's up, Dougie? How you doing, man? Okay, and then this, we got a plane change between here, right? These pieces with a ridge in the middle, and then a little bit of a bulge here. Something like that. Alright, let's pronounce this a little bit more. Maybe it actually comes down a little bit further. Yeah. Now he's kind of coming along. Okay. So let's see if we can get the shape of these things correct first. All right. So we want to take a good look at these ridges, right? So these ridges actually come out, right? So we got kind of a swoop and a swoop, a swoop and a swoop, a swoop and a swoop. In. Okay. And he's got, say, maybe before this turn here, he's got, so try to get the spacing correct first, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 before it really kind of turns up here. So we'll do that kind of shape, and then maybe we'll pull this out. Like that. So it'll be a little bit of two-step process maybe. So push in, and then pull that out. Right, and we get to that two-side depth to it. So push in, pull that out, pull that out. So we're really getting that really nice plane change, right? So let's say this here, this piece is flat, it goes down, and then flat, down, flat, right? So push that in a little bit more, pull that up. Push that down, pull that up. Push that down, oops. Push that down, pull that up. Right? We get the overall feel. We got 4. And then maybe as it gets towards the back, they're going to be a little bit more frequent. That's 6, and then we've got in, out, out. So that's about 7 that come in there. Like that. The other thing too is that you want to really make sure that it looks good from all rotations, right? Right here, it kind of looks flat and gross. So I really want to make sure that, all this curvature kind of makes sense, and then this whole plane looks flat, right? So maybe the middle edge comes up more. No, I don't think I would do an alpha for this. I think making an alpha would be too much work for what you're doing here. Everything's kind of a little bit more specific here, so I'd much rather just sculpt this in. Plus, it's fun sculpting these details. Don't leave it up to an alpha, man. Take the fun stuff. Take the fun stuff, man. Maybe we'll throw. Maybe we'll, for good measure, we'll throw in a couple more. Just to get kind of maybe that nice growth idea, right? We get smaller, 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 then get bigger. Kind of like, you know, like ram's horns do. Yeah, I mean, if for this, it's so localized to this little area. It would take more time to try to make an alpha the correct way than it would be to just sculpt it in. All right, so now that I have kind of my shapes down, then it would go in and refine this a little bit more with more resolution. All right, so maybe I'll kind of give this shape a little bit more oomph. Then maybe we'll make sure that these plane changes actually happen. Now that they're kind of drawn in. So with Sculptress, I would just do a larger brush first for the big shapes. Make sure that your big shapes are established, just like any other good sculpting pipeline, right? You want to make sure that your big details are established first before you go in and do the small little details. All right, so then I would just probably just come in and clean this stuff up. All right, so now that I have, you know, the the body, dude, this is so good. I just got to get rid of the body in a bad way. It's comical. It's comical. It should just like totally make the head and the shoulders like so badass, and then just be like, oh yeah, there's the rest of his body. All right. So then what I would do is just I'd come in here and just start reinforcing these shapes with a smaller brush. Total midget troll, man. That's why he's so angry. All my other troll buddies are so tall. Alright, so I come in with a smaller brush. Just kind of fix up these shapes a little bit. You know, maybe we'll have a little bit of this kind of spine coming through here as well. And then once I go through this level and that looks good, you know, I actually may come in and start doing smaller details like this. And this is the beauty of um, the Sculptress Pro, is that you can just come in and start adding more details. You know, like maybe there's actually like striations within these striations, right? Maybe there's like some of these little details that come in here. You know, we've got actually other little growth marks, you know, as these are coming up. You know, maybe this is flattened more. You know, maybe this is really nice good plane change in between here before I go in and do those. Yeah, man, it's pretty amazing. I can come in and maybe just do a little clean up to some of these shapes here. Yeah, I would just focus on frequency of detail, and as you get the larger pieces in place, and then dive in a little bit deeper. So practice restraint is probably one of the bigger things at this point, you know? It's really easy to just jump in and do this detail, but what happens is, you know, what if those proportions are wrong? Like this is too thin, you know? You're like, "Oh crap, well now all those details are shot." So maybe we got a little bit of a spike through here. Right? You got some of these larger. And then you can even come in and look at the, you know, we can look at the polys. And then I can come in with a smaller smooth brush if I want and smooth that out. And it adds polys to that area, right? So I can leave all of this area. If I want to smooth all this, right? You say, oh, I want this to be, you know, it can be that frequency of detail. But then I just want to have the actual detail just on the edge there. Then I can actually come in, even just with my smooth brush, and add a little bit more detail into those areas. And we can go to town on this. You know, you got some stuffs going on. Maybe like there's actually, you know, little chunky details through here. Just for some surface normals. What's up, Exxon? I'm actually using the Sculptress Pro mode for pretty much this whole thing. This whole thing has been Sculptress, actually, from a sphere. So yeah, that's how I would just go about doing all of this area. It's just kind of I mean, yeah, there's to a point, yeah. You can Z remesh and just reproject. What I would do is if I was trying to do a really nice mesh to this, actually here, I'll just show you. So let's say let's do this. Alright, so let's say on the beard, you know, we've got some of these nice details in here. We got, you know, some of this, some of this, some of this. You know, we got some of these. So the question is, you know, how do you go about turning this into something that has better topology, right? So basically what I would do, all right, we'll do this real quick before we wrap it up here. Let me save this first. It's actually really easy. So we'll take this guy, we'll just isolate him real quick. What I would do is just duplicate him, and then let's take a look at that. We'll go down to Geo. We'll do Z remesher. I like 20 by 20 here. I find that gives really good. Let's just start with 5,000. Just Z remesh it real quick. Oh, thanks, Shiprat. Oh man, that's big. There's a lot of great artists on this channel. All right, so we just have something like this, right? That's actually our ZBrush bake, and then we just divide this a couple of times, right? And then what are we at? Say 158,000. Maybe we'll go one more. So we'll divide to 4 to 600,000, right? It's easy, right? So then you've got this, right? You've got this one, which is your sculpted one. This one, which was duplicated and then z-remeshed and then subdivided. Right? So let's turn everything off. Turn this guy back on and this guy back on. And then with just the pieces that you want projected, then we come down to, no, I think it was in subtool, project all. And then what it's going to do is it's going to take those details and project them onto your high-res mesh. There you go. And now you've got nice topology. Well, I mean, everybody has their different ways of working. I've been streaming for quite a long time, so it kind of comes a little bit more naturally, and I am naturally a teacher anyways. So James, just in time, buddy. No, there's no need for decimation. I mean, it's just gonna take a look at the surface normals. Yeah, so that's what I would do. I probably would like let's say if I was gonna do it to this dude, what I would do is probably I would separate some of the pieces, right? Try to strategically separate pieces instead of having a whole large one. I don't do private lessons at the moment, man. I don't, but I can show you a lot of great resources. Um, that's for sure. So what I would do is like, maybe I would take just this piece, right? Maybe I would cut it along there where natural seams are, and then, that this whole piece is one particular subtool, and then I can subdivide the crap out of that, right? Honestly, I think some of the best resources is just go on to the Pixelogic page here and go to videos, and just look at some of the videos, some of the people that are on here, and then just do research on them. Like there's just so many amazing people um, that also stream here on Twitch on Pixelogic's channel. Anything from awesome jewelry to statue and toy designing to game art and pipeline, to creature design to all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. That's where I would start. And the awesome thing is that if you do this, Z-remesh, and you're like, oh, you know what? I accidentally deleted this other one. Let's just delete this one. That's fine. Like, oh crap, I deleted it. Oh, well, guess what? We just delete all this lower, and then we can come and do, excuse me, let's do decimation master, preprocess. And the other one is Z Classroom. Honestly, if you're learning ZBrush and you just want like answers, you're like, dude, how do you do the thing? Or what is that other thing? What the hell are polygroups? Like, what the hell are polygroups? Z Classroom honestly is probably one of the best resources you can find. It's so good. And Michael Pavlovich, he's another one. Um, Anytime there's three main people for learning ZBrush. That anytime that you can listen to them or find them streaming or videos that they've done, Paul Gaboury, that guy is a mountain of knowledge. Joseph Drust, and um, Michael Pavlovich. Any of those three, they really, really do an amazing job at teaching. Right? And he's so quick. Dude, Pavlovich is so quick. He's like, oh, I'm just going to do the thing. And you're like, where was the thought process? Did you have any time to stop and think? No, it happens like that for you. Yeah, it must be nice. Anyways, we'll just decimate here, like that. And then you're kind of back to where you started. And then we can just go in and just do more sculpting on here. Shane's awesome. Yep. I mean, there's so many great people. It's hard to narrow it down. All right, let's continue. I feel like we've got some fun stuff going on. So here's a question. I was actually supposed to end it about 5 minutes ago, but I feel like continuing. Are you guys down if you want a little bit more? If so, I gotta take a quick restroom break. If not, then we'll end it. We'll end it. Just end it. For God's sakes. Just put it out of its misery. You guys want to keep going? I feel like finally we're getting to a place where it's actually fun now. More. We need more cowbell. Nice, James. Nice. Okay, I'd say let's keep going. Let's keep going. So give me a minute. I'm going to use the restroom and make sure check on the dogs real quick, and I'll be back in a jiffy. Cool, cool, cool. I think I got a BRB. BRB. All right, give me 2 minutes. All right. Alright. Alright, we're back. We're back. So what do you think? Actually, you know what? If somebody would love to do me a quick favor and see when the next streamer is, that'd be awesome. I want to make sure that if I do go longer, that I'm not cutting into somebody else's stream time. Xavier! What's up, dude? How you doing, buddy? Alright. Let's keep rolling on this guy. He's coming along. He's coming along. Let's get some nice plane change. Next one listed is tomorrow. Plenty of time. Thank you very much, James. Appreciate it, man. How you doing, buddy? Brother? How's life, James? You're still streaming too, right, James? I think I see you on every once in a while. Alright, let's see if we can just focus in on some of his face details here. I feel like we're getting somewhere. What's up, Hooligan? How you doing, man? Nice, man. A year off. Slacker. Joking, dude. Joking. Oh yeah, that's right. You were doing like this skeleton based set, right? I saw those. They're looking pretty good, man. Those look fun. Just start adding some secondary details through here, and then see if we can refine some of them. Ooh, are you gonna actually get a? Oh, you're gonna get a maid. Ooh, I really wanted to get into like actually bronze casting for a little while. I was really looking into it. I was like, man, I would just love to be able to do an actual sculpt, like a clay sculpt, and then get it cast in bronze. Man, that would be so good, so dope. But I mean, I even did like a bunch of research into like how to make your own kiln and like all that fun stuff. But then I had my daughter, and then I didn't have any time. But it was all worth it because she's amazing. See if we can just get some shapes going on. Make sure we have a nice plane change in between the eyelid here and the actual ball of the socket. Uptime. What's up, time? How much, dude? How you doing? I feel like his eyes are still a little too big. Let's try to make them a little bit smaller. How about that? How about them apples? It's coming. Yeah. I sculpted a real human. See if we get a little bit of this depth going on there. Maybe we'll get a little bit more roundness here. Push this in a little bit more. The nose is so interesting. Man, noses are freaking crazy. Alright, so you got, here's a little bit of nose anatomy. Ready? So you've got the bone that like comes to here. Right? That's usually the little bridge of the nose. Right? And then usually you've got a little bit of, that's kind of like the apex here. And then you've got this like dual cartilage that comes down. Right? And then you've got this shape that comes this way and forms the sides of your nose like this. And then you've got the nostrils that come off of that. The nose is so interesting. Especially when you start looking at other people's noses. And you're like, oh, you got the thing. Like, some are like way more pronounced. Like if you look at Scarlett Johansson, like, dude, I'm going to ruin it for everybody. Ready? Look away right now if you don't want to have Scarlett Johansson face ruined for you forever. Scarlett Johansson. Let's look at images. Alright. She's got such an interesting nose, right? So take that same thing that I was just talking about. Let's get, there we go. See, look at this. She's got such huge shapes right here on her nose. And if you get look at it from the profile, like these two pieces are like big, which makes her the tip of her nose real boxy, you know? If you look at so we can get one that's like a better size. Right? So like these forms right here on Scarlett's nose are like, and like look at the nostril compared to it, right? See if one that's not like super. Look at that. That's so cool. I wonder if there's a profile picture of her that's better. Yeah. It's just like this part of her nose is so interesting, and then like she's that kind of like comes down. All right. Anyways, and then Justin Thoreau. What was the dude from Thoreau? No, not him. Thoreau. This dude's nose is freaking, it's crazy. Look at that. So it's got like, he's got the two side pieces that come in, right? And then he's got like this extra little, see if we can get a better profile picture of him. Like these pieces are just, they come like way out, right? So he's got like, here's the ridge, here's like the little cartilage, and then like these two forms come way out. Look at that. That's crazy. I don't know. This is what I do when I look at people. Like when I actually have to like talk with people, I can't look at their face. So when I'm trying to concentrate on what they're saying, I can't look at their face. Oh, Liam Neeson, that's another really good nose. Like super epic. I thought he was just interesting because like he's kind of like got this strong like bridge, and then it just gets like this wicked point to it. It's so awesome. Maybe this one's a little bit better. Look at that, right? Isn't that crazy? All right, let's look at Liam Neeson real quick. Can't really sit too well on that one. Yeah. So like the thing makes his interesting is that he's got really wide breadth of the nose here. Dumbo. Right? And then like again those two shapes that come over and create the front of the nose that bisect it like this, like they're not round out here, but they come way far out, right? All right, last one. What was another one? Gerard Depardieu. Oh, we got to do Gerard. Gerard Gerard E. Dep R D I E U. There we go. Right? Same thing. That's what like it's these shapes right here that really define a person's nose. Owen Wilson, yeah, that's another really good one. Right? It's crazy. And then, whether you have the dimple here or not because these shapes are large, or whether this is just, huge. Dimitri Martin, yeah, that's another good one. But it's crazy, right? So, I mean, that's just the stuff that I look at when I look at people's faces. It's crazy. But anyway, so like once you know that, right, then you can really um, start to play with the characteristics of the individual features, right? So like we've got, you know, the crust, the end of the bone there, right? And then maybe like, oops, maybe it comes in a little bit more, right? But maybe the nasal bone is actually way wider. Right? Yeah, it's crazy, right? So maybe it's wider, and then like, maybe there's like actually more to this, right? We got some of those subtle shapes that come all the way in here and do that, and so like those are the small little things, right? Where you're looking at these small little plane changes that happen as you're kind of rotating around, like that you like really have to pay attention to. Um, Once you start getting into kind of the deeper um, character pieces. Maybe actually this division isn't so divided. All right. And then what does the bottom of the nose do here? Does it go right into the face? Some people it's really when we really get into okay, you're like, all right, look, I'm looking at noses. Then you start looking at noses like crazy, and then you start looking at the different types of like connections. Like what is like the does the septum like come up like this, or does it like come way down like this, like into the actual lip? You know, this is when like creature design becomes really fun. Once you understand like the what's going on under the skin and why you have the shapes that you have, then you get to start playing with those shapes, right? Does this flatten out and just come straight down into the lip like that? Or a lot of people, their nostril actually comes all the way in, and there's a surface change between this and the lip, right? That's way different from that. We're all mutants. Any observation on how the nose sits on the maxilla? I mean, other than like there's just a major plane change here. Um, it's really when you start to look at the different ethnicities too. It's really really cool. Is the difference between Caucasian and Asian, like in specifically in the depth of the bridge of the nose to the zygoma. Like if you're looking to make this dude Asian, it's almost like it's crazy. I mean, it would probably come out a little bit more, but like actually the whole eye socket would come out this way. And the depth between the bridge of the nose in the profile, the depth between the bridge of the nose and the beginning of the zygoma is very, very, very shallow. Right? You start to kind of feels a little bit more, like Mongolian, right? And you start looking at the nostrils are kind of a little bit more flared out. Right now we've got a Mongolian, Asian style Samoan kind of look to it. So it's really cool once you start like looking at all the differences between ethnicities and the proportions of different things. Man, it's just so much fun. God, so much fun. Sorry, it's geek out moment. Right? Super change, right? Super change to right. I mean, either one of them could work just fine, but like depending on what style you want to go with, it's crazy. And those are the things that you should be looking at. Like how far are the eyes set back from the bridge of the nose? Like how far from the profile? How far? Are your eyes facing forward more, or are they facing like out more? If they're facing out more, right? This part comes out like this, and this part goes in. Right? So then from the profile, you've got this much longer, right? So like, and that's a huge difference between what we consider predator and prey, right? So if you look at the different types of eyes from predators to like passive prey have their eyes on the outside, right? So they can see prey coming, right? That's just natural biology. It's so freaking cool. It's so awesome, man. But like prey is mostly the eyes are in front so they can focus in on the thing that they're going to try to eat, right? Because they're not worried about this so much. They're worried about this. Like it's tunnel vision, right? So like if you want to have this guy be more, let's say, docile, like maybe he's just somebody that kind of like lumbers along, and like doesn't really do anything. Just take those things into account and to be like, okay, well maybe he's a little bit, maybe he's very prey and less predator, you know. And suddenly you just get that feeling because it's what your eyes have seen but don't know for most of your life, right? So it's kind of knowing those differences as well and being able to play off of them. Sorry, I missed a bunch of chat. I do some props too, but mostly character artist. Fun of working in 3D helps solidify the forms. Yes, that's true. Yep. Understanding the forms is much more solid. Create more reality. Yeah. I think anytime that you are trying to represent a 3D object, whether it's digitally or on paper, it's really good idea to have a good idea of how those forms actually work, so that you can put those onto 2D illustration, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's all depending on where you put the eyes. Stereoscopic vision. Yep. Yep, exactly. Meta design factors. Exactly. Well, I mean, it just goes into, the read of a particular character. Is it more menacing? Then think about those things about what makes a menacing creature menacing. It's forward facing eyes, or like, does it hunt by the sense of smell, and then like maybe the eyes are super small, right? And that's just for like little things that they, try to eat or something. And then like their nose is huge, or like, they have like extra nose holes, or like maybe he's got like extra extra nostril or something. You got this crazy going on where you can like smell and sense other things. It's freaking so much fun. What's up, Dark? Yeah, man. Forward facing eyes because they have triangular distance to the next branch. Yeah. So yeah, depth perception. Yeah. I don't do too many reviews anymore. I unfortunately I don't have a whole lot of time. Let's get rid of that extra nostril. A certain level of human instinct, or even the tiniest bit of, yeah, key things there is like the easy to figure out. Yeah, yeah, and then having good shape language and frequency of detail, all those things kind of go into it. Getting out of that uncanny valley of, or the valley of suck, as Ryan Kinsling likes to call it. So what I really want to do is I want to get some nice plane change between the eye socket and the zygoma, which I feel like it's not really getting at the moment. I don't want to bring it out more. So what I really want to do is, knowing where you personally struggle in things. Look at this, the whole time. This is all I was sculpting in out of perspective. Awesome. Now I'm in perspective. I forget that a lot. Totally forgot what I was going to say. You saw the game engine demo, Andy Circus. Yes, facial tracking. And yeah, when they did the facial tracking, then just put that onto the alien. Yep. Yep. That's basically it. Alright, so I'm really looking for a nice kind of plane change for the eye bag area versus the zygoma here. Alright, so then this will kind of explain the eye socket a little bit better. And I feel like for this dude, he's got a really, really droopy eye socket, right? If you look at him, like this, the distance between here versus the distance between here and here is huge, right? He's got almost like this triangle feel, or the diamond feel to it, which I feel like we're really lacking here. So I think that's one of the observations that I have, is to get this really downward slope to almost like where the end of his eye hits. And then it kind of rolls back up, and he's got pretty good distance between the edge of the eye and the outside of his orbital, right? Edge of his eye versus the outside of his orbital. Pretty good distance. So maybe this actually comes down. This actually should probably come up more. And sometimes just those little things can make all the difference. This is going to push up more. What's up, Hugo? How you doing, buddy? Oh, just doing some God of War fan art. Alright. So it's actually going to come... It's going to swoop in a little bit like this. Even though it has the most, like, more downward motion. It still has a little bit of a bend to it. I don't want to make things too incredibly straight. I actually feel like this can come up even more. The eye socket fat is pure magic. That means a lot, man, because I've struggled with eyes for so long. So long. And I've struggled with hands for so long, too. But I think one of the things to getting better is just learning um, how to break down shapes, right? And look at things in the right ways. And look at where plane changes happen and like and being subtle about things. Yeah, man. It should be up when it's over, or at least soon after. Um, Hopefully they'll put it up on the Pixelogic YouTube channel as well. But this guy was in the Valley of the Suck for quite a while. We spent a good hour or so. You want to see how you guys want to see? For anybody that just got here, um, not too long ago, I'm gonna break your mind right now. I feel like his head is getting to a good spot. I'm gonna ruin it all right now just because I can. Ready? You ready? Like, oh, dude, man, he's actually coming along. Ready? Meh. Meh. But thanks, Dave. Appreciate that, man. Oh, is there a good hand mesh? Yeah, I mean, like I think just go to I actually have a hand. The only tutorial that I have out there is a hand sculpting tutorial. So you can, if you're interested, you can take a peek on that. It's on Gumroad, and it's also on ZBrush. For I kind of just go over all the shapes of the hand and like how to start from scratch, basically. But that's for a human hand, though. I don't know if you're looking for more something creaturistic. I know. You know what he needs? Yeah, he needs some. All right, all right. We're gonna break this down real quick. He needs some pants. A little diaper action, maybe. He's like just the little baby troll. Mommy, 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 mommy. Did you save me any of that goat? That's funny. How do you do to get a good figure bend on one side and compression on the other? Um, Not sure what to. What do you mean, Hannibal? Soggy bottom boys. Nice. So with the gizmo tool. Uh, oh, for like a finger bend? Um, Sculpt it, really. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. I mean, I did a here, let's save this real quick. Save. And then let's load up the last project that I did, which was the sphere challenge. Let me grab that real quick. Right quick like here, I say. Projects. ZBrush. Alright. Here. So, like, are you talking about, so on a finger? Where's your question? Where's your question? So how do you get a good finger bend? Bend on one side, compression on the other. So you're talking about like for a knuckle? Like how would you make this look like it's actually bent? And not just like a bent pipe? Alright, we'll do that real quick. And then we'll jump back. So let's do this. Let's duplicate this guy. Let's just isolate this dude real quick like. Okay, we'll do delete hidden, we'll do auto groups, hide that dude, and then we'll delete this guy. Maybe I should have done a different finger. Nah, this is fine. Alright, so how do you make it look like compressed? So like taut and then compressed? So basically what I would do is I would like think about the skin, right? So like so the skin here is going to be nice and taut, so you're going to see a lot of the bony structures here, and then like you're going to have an excess of weight down here, right? So let's say we'll bend this even more. Alright, so let's say we're going to we'll do even more bend, right? So how do you sell this as a bend, right? Instead of it looking like this, right? So what I would do is I would cut down on the bulky shapes on this side, right? So we're really just going to see bone. Maybe we'll see more bony here. Alright, and then we're going to see a lot more extra padding through here, right? Alright, more padding through here. Kind of same thing in here. Is that so? This is what you're talking about? I'm hoping this is what you're talking about. Alright, so that we would have compression on this side where we would see less fatty types of shapes. Alright, and then we'll have more of those shapes down here. Guess we can do the same thing with this one here. I'm hoping this is what you're talking about, because otherwise this was pointless. Yeah, so like when you transpose like this, yeah, like it's gonna look like noodles, right? It's like that doesn't look right. Well, then you just go back in and then you just kind of move things around, right? And then you use your basic knowledge of physics, right? Everybody has a basic knowledge of physics, right? And then you know that there's going to be a bunch up of material on this side, and you just resculpt it, right? Knowing that there's going to be a bunch of material on this side and less on this side. Right, so maybe we may see the ligament that actually comes in here, and then less, more bony structure. I haven't actually done a lot of normal blend shapes in my experience yet. So yeah, I mean, you just go in and I mean, yeah, after you transpose stuff, like you have to go back in and change that based on, right? Because this looks incorrect now up here. Like, right, you would actually, this would be skinnier. Right, you would probably see more of this bone that actually comes in. Like that. You just have to go in and resculpt a little bit. Just knowing how things work, That's all. That is all. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, like I said, Dark. I haven't actually done a lot of blend shape map, like wrinkle maps and stuff. I don't really haven't done a lot of that. I want to. I just haven't had the chance to really. Oh yeah, we're working on the eyes, huh? Yeah, man, no problem, Hannibal. All right, shape of the sockets here. That's what we were working on. Feel like there's a little bit too much depth here. Little bit too much. Yeah, I'm. I mean, I've been on projects where we used them for sure. I just haven't had really a chance to do them. All right, let's see if we can fix this depth. I feel like this depth is a little much. A little much. Let's actually bring this out a little bit more. Let's make sure we don't make him look like a Klingon, though. That feels a little better. Oh, cool. Thanks, Dave. We get a little bit more of this plane change happening in here. I feel like this can come in a little bit more. Saw the new Tomb Raider game cinematic. I know, it looks so dope, right? We collaborated with it. We I don't know too many of the actual details about who made the trailer, um, but a lot of it was gameplay. So we can get some of these fun shapes going on here. Yeah, take a look at the trailer for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Looks amazing. So the other thing too that you want to look at and be wary of is like when you're looking at, let's say, this silhouette, of like, oh, he's got like all these things, right? It's really cool to make sure that those don't happen all in one plane from the side, right? So like vary the distance. Like this may be more forward than this piece, and this piece may be more forward than this piece, or this piece may be way in the back, right? So like make sure that when you're trying to explain a silhouette, that like when you turn that, it still looks interesting. It's not all on this same plane. It's not like this, right? You give it some interesting depth so that like from every rotation, it looks cool. It's got like that good diversity of shapes, um, and nice balance. Yeah, like maybe this one goes all the way around, back of his head, and he's got like these other things that come in here, and I think it's the same actress. Yeah, I think actually Psycho Silver. I actually feel it's kind of fun to work just from one reference image. If I was trying to make this exact guy for like for a statue or something, which I'm not really trying to at the moment. I'm just kind of having some fun. Um, just doing kind of fan art, like maybe my own twist to it. If I was doing an actual representation of it, yes, definitely would want to get um, more reference from different sides, so that can be true to what the actual piece is. What I like doing in some of these exercises is try to stay with one and just take all of the design elements that go into what you're seeing and apply those to the rest of the model. Challenge yourself a little bit in that, so you're not just like looking at something from every single rotation and just transferring that to what is in and see how good you can match it, but instead try to limit yourself to one, right? So like in this one image, you get the sense of what this guy is, right? And then it's up to you as an artist, um, to be able to take these design elements and flush out the rest of it. You know what I mean? So I like the challenge of being able to get the idea of this guy, be true to what this image is, and then kind of work my way with those shapes to be able to establish what the rest of the character is. I actually find it an interesting challenge to work with less reference. Of course, that's just me. Yeah, kind of like sculpting from imagination, or just kind of being using a little bit more of your creative side and just taking what's there and being able to build on it. All right, I think a couple more minutes and then I gotta call this one. I've already gone an hour over my time. We had some good stuff though today. I feel like we had some good stuff. See if we get a nice division line for where his skull starts and where this piece ends. The other really cool thing that you can do to come up with shapes, you know, it's like I don't want to just use the clay brush in here, so I'm gonna make this my last point, and then we'll roll for the day. Sometimes what I like doing is just taking actually the mask brush, right? And let's say that instead of lasso, we're going to use mask rectangle, right? So we want this one. But instead of that, we're actually going to use a different alpha. Alright, so maybe we'll use something like this, right? We're actually going to mask some stuff on here. Looks like I'm doing a likeness study. Thanks, man. So sometimes a fun way to get some surface variation is to just do some drag rec, flip that out, and then just start pulling this out a little bit, or pushing it in a little, you know, or coming in here and doing some of this. It's really a great way to get some like happy accidents and getting some cool forms kind of happening, you know. Really quick and cool way to do that stuff. And then just, you know, maybe that trick is awesome. I love that trick too. This one, maybe we'll do some of this. No, that's not gonna work. Maybe we'll do let's try this one. Let's get rid of that for a second. You know, we'll just try to do some of this. Then maybe we'll come back with our pen and, you know, get rid of some of this. Maybe soften up the edges a little bit. Right, flip that around, and then maybe do some. Right, really, it's a really quick and cool way to get some shapes started. You know what I mean? And then you can just go back in and, you know, expand on some of those shapes. You get really a good starting point for you know, some cool happy accidents. And then you can take some away, make some bigger. Right, and then maybe you can actually come in with different brushes and kind of expand on some of that, you know. Depending on what you want this texture to be, really. You know, this is a really cool, quick way to get some stuff going on. And you can do that with regular brushes as well too. You know, instead of using dots, you could use drag rec, and then you can use something like this, and you know. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, maybe it's this whole pockmarked thing. Actually, here's another thing you can do. Instead of doing that, we can play with morph targets too, right? So we store morph target. All right, this will be the last thing, and then we're gone. Morph target is where is it? Dang, morph target. There it is. So you can store morph target, Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. So store morph target, and then like you can do this stuff. You know, you just kind of be kind of nice and willy nilly about it. You're like, oh, that's cool. I'll do that thing. I'll do this thing. And we're like, oh, we want to do some up here. Right, and then you can actually go. So brush, morph, and then O for morph brush, and then you can just morph some of that stuff out. You know, you have some nice variance of depth as it goes through. Just kind of hit on some of this. Or you can put those on layers, and then, you know, pull the layer opacity back down. You know, all kinds of cool ways to start getting textures and stuff in here. Then you just build and build and build on those textures, right? And then so like maybe you do that, and then maybe you come back with, you know, some of this. Start explaining some of these details a little bit more. Or maybe you don't like it at all, and you can just be like, oh, let's get rid of that. Yeah, the morph slider is awesome too. Yep. All kinds of fun stuff. I actually don't really like any of that at this point. I'm not ready to do that type of detail yet, so I'm just going to go back. Going back. Going back. There we go. Yep, that's fine. Alright, I think we're going to call it, guys and gals. Let's save this first. Oh, where did I save it? Where did I save it? God of War project. There we go. Yep, I think that's it for today. I am actually going to be... I will be doing 3 episodes this coming month. I will be back May 9th, May 19th, and May 26th. So I'm going to pick up an extra round this this coming month, and I think we're going to work on this dude in our diorama pretty much the whole time. So I probably am not going to do much to this in between those streams, so we'll probably pick up right from here on Wednesday, May 9th. Same bat time, same bat channel. Alright, so a couple things to touch on. If you guys are new to ZBrush, you want to try it out, there is a free trial. Just take a look on the bottom of this page or go to ZBrush.com. There's a lot of other amazing artists on this channel, so I highly suggest giving them a look. If you are new to ZBrush, or if you want to, like, you know, get answers, Z Classroom is a really good place to go. And Pixelogic's YouTube page is actually really good. They have a whole Ask ZBrush segment where they go over questions from Twitter. That's another really good one. Bad King is badking.com.au. Let me just give you that real quick before we roll. Badking.au. Badking.com.au. The other one was, if you're not following Pixelogic's Twitch channel, hit the follow button so you can see other awesome creative streamers on here. If you feel like following me personally, my site is right there. I'm not on there a whole lot. I want to be on there a little bit more, but I haven't done a whole lot for a little while. But if you want to follow me personally, there's my site. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. But most of all, I hope you're inspired. Go make your own cool stuff. So do it. Get out there and spend some time making some cool stuff. Alright, I'm peacing out. See you guys.